Right, so we put the vehicle into B mode and we don't even know what it is, so we're going to just see what it is. But maybe if we boot it, it might put us in the back of the seat. Maybe. Let's have a look. Oh my god, it's so powerful. I don't know what it's doing. Is it gonna, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm going to take it out of that mode.
Alex Peak Performance Reviews, we're here today with something a bit different actually. We're normally all about real raw performance vehicles, but we're doing sometimes every now and again some different vehicles as well for you guys. Anyway, we're here with a Toyota hybrid CHR, and it's a dynamic limited edition, so it's a bit different. So a nice top spec one, just under £30,000, about 29,995, depending on where you're buying it from, retail. But basically, yeah, it's a petrol electric hybrid. It's got about 120 horsepower electric hybrid system, so you have got a reasonable amount of oomph for the vehicle, but it's actually a reasonably heavy car. You'll probably see from our video and from our test drive and out on the road, the performance is mainly for the economic kind of environment, so to speak. So it's a really comfortable car with an emphasis on eco. So let's show you around the car as well, so you can see some of the interior. Externally, I think the car is actually really good, really good looking car. Some people, again, as always, looks are subjective, so not everyone will like it, but I think it's a really interesting, different looking car. It's quite aggressive, and considering it's an eco car, to be fair, it's actually more aggressive than the power kind of would suggest, but it's got some really nice little touches, some nice anglia and kind of also curvy lines as well, which are really quite nice. I think that Toyota are absolutely crying out for a more sportier version of this. But let's go inside, let's go and have a little look on in the interior. There's your little CHR limited edition version there, nice little badge there. Open up the boot for you as well. See, obviously, again, with an eco car or a car that you're, wanting to do, lots of things with, you want to have a look at the boot. It's not a huge boot, to be fair, but it's nice and deep, half kind of distance. These limited edition ones, they come with a JBL sub as well, which is really quite awesome. So it's got a lovely sound system in here as well. So, like I said, it's fully loaded. We'll give you the links in the bio about everything anyway. So, yeah, let's shut those all up for you. And then, yeah, we're going to go and drive it, show you what it's all about, and why you should think about buying one of these. Okay, so now you join me inside the Toyota CHR. We're in a limited edition model. The tech specs are very vague for this car. I think Toyota give you a lot of specs on petrol motor only. So there's no real performance kind of figures for it, or there is, but they look very unimpressive, if I'm honest. The top speed is quite low, around 105, and then the 0 to 60 is only 11 seconds. But in reality, with both motors and electric combined, it does have the potential to be a bit quicker. I know that because I've been looking at one out of interest, because I love the look of them, but I just read the tech spec and I think, God, it seems a bit boring, and God, it seems a bit slow. So I'm going to see what this feels like in terms of road presence and drive, handling, as well as feeling what, how punchy it feels, or how gutless it may feel. On paper, it sounds like it's very 1990 in terms of its performance, but I think you'll be quite surprised. And from what I gather, I think we will be able to digest that it's probably a little bit quicker than the tech spec would suggest. So we'll see. We're going to go on a drive. Join us on that, and we'll take you through that. Okay, so we're moving away now. We're in drive, and we're moving. It feels very soft and light. Not as light as some other hybrid cars I've driven, which is quite good. Lock to lock ratio is reasonable. It's not too
not too long, which is great. It's fairly short, so I can kind of, I don't have to cross my arms over too much to get a good bit of steering input. Yeah, I mean the steering's, you know, pretty light, but it's not stupidly light, which is good. So you've got a little bit of feedback through the steering wheel. As you can probably hear, or not hear, should I say, it's obviously very, very quiet, so you can hear me, you know, very, very easy. So it's in pure electric mode at the moment, and yeah, it's a nice, really, really comfortable ride, really quiet, really silent, and yeah, it's a pleasant little little drive so far. But don't get me wrong, I mean, this will tick the boxes for everyone, but for someone like me who really, really likes his sporty cars, it has to still be reasonably sporty, or at least give me a bit of sensation that makes me smile and think, that's not bad, you know. And that's what I'm hoping it will do. So we're gonna push it a little bit more, see what the chassis feels like, take the traction control off so we can feel exactly what the chassis is doing, and how we can control that. This is obviously a super efficient car. It's been returning 62 miles per gallon at the moment, and that's on people's regular drives. People and media bods have been out in this driving it, but there is a claim of up to about 80 miles per gallon, and to be fair, it's actually doing you know, there or thereabouts of that figure. So it's ticking the boxes in terms of its economy. Handling, definitely no horrible roll around that roundabout, so yeah, so far so good. We'll start to give it a bit more of a push. As we kind of let off the accelerator, it goes back into a charging mode, so it's, yeah, really, really keeping its kind of economy right up, which is really, really good. Right, so I've got both modes engaged, and I'm putting my foot down. Now, it's not planting me in the back of my seat, that's for sure, but it's pulling quite nicely. I mean, it's not quick. It definitely isn't quick, and it's definitely not a performance car. But it's, I mean, if you're happy with something being super eco and you want a nice comfortable ride with all the bells and whistles, this car actually would, and I should think would tick all the boxes. If you want to drive it really, really super efficient, you'll easily get, from what we're even seeing, between 62 miles per gallon and up to 80, which is pretty damn impressive, to be honest with you. So it does what it needs to do. But if you want a sporty car that's really, really quick and agile, this isn't the car. However, I say the car isn't agile, it's actually not that bad around the corners, and that's pretty impressive. So you can hear that the motor and the electric motor is obviously engaged, or you can hear obviously certainly the motor is engaged, and it feels like it's just like one gear, so there's no push around the corner. And to be fair, it didn't feel scary around a corner at a reasonable rate of knots. That was a mid kind of corner, a reasonable rate of knots. You can feel a little tiny bit of pitch and roll, but very little, and it's not kind of transferring the weight in an unnecessary horrible way where it kind of just wants to understeer or kind of take you into the hedge and to the side of the road. It's actually, you know, fairly good on that side of things. It's definitely really, really comfortable as well, which is great. So as an eco car and maybe a daily car that you want to kind of you know, save the pennies in the old pocket, but while looking pretty good, and I think this car is a lovely looking car. I think Toyota have done a really, really good job on the looks of this car. It is a beautiful looking car. I actually think, and again, looks are subjective, so not everyone's going to agree, I think it's one of the nicest looking cars in category. I just think that Toyota is crying out for still a hybrid, but something with a little bit more performance. This car with more performance would be a pretty awesome little car, with maybe some adaptive suspension, and so you could change the suspension settings for eco or performance. I think that would be really, really nice. And actually, as I'm saying that, I have heard, I don't think rumours, I think I have pretty much categorically heard that Toyota are doing a very, very hot version of this. The version that we are in is a limited edition, and it's probably the top of the range one. So it's got all the bells and whistles. Again, links in the bio for everything. You'll see that there's you know, a lot of tech spec on this car. And for the money, you know, it's all, you know, it's absolutely fully loaded. It's under £30,000, around 28,995. It's a really, really good car. It really, really is. Okay, so we've taken the traction control off. God help us. Nah, it should be alright. It feels decent. Put it just in normal drive mode. Traction control off, and yeah, we're going to give the car, I wouldn't say we're going to give it any more of a push, because we have given it a bit of a push around corners, and to be honest with you, this car isn't designed to be driven very, very fast like you're on a race circuit, so we're not going to push it too hard with the traction control off, because the reality is I wouldn't imagine the chassis is going to want to go exactly where we want it to go as though we were on a race circuit. But put it in drive, both motors engaged, both electric and petrol. And no, it feels, I've got to be honest, it feels accomplished enough around these turns. There's no, you know, massive movement, pitch and roll, and horrible lean. If anything, it's definitely more comfortable than it is focused on, you know, speed and agility, but it's certainly, you know, absolutely fine in the corners. It would be an enjoyable enough experience around the old country roads and around normal roads. Nothing wrong with the handling. It's not dangerous, it's not horrible, it's not bad. It's good. It definitely ticks boxes, and you would say, you know, that it's got a nice, well refined, comfortable chassis. So no, it does what it needs to do. Performance obviously is not what it's about. This car is a car to really, really travel, you know, good distances, getting you great miles per gallon in long distances at and being really, really comfortable. Right, let's give it a bit of beans again. Drop it like it's hot. It's got decent brakes for the size car it is, and it's got a decent little chassis. That's kind of wavy rainbow road type Mario Kart roads here. Let's see what the chassis is saying about these. There you go, someone's pulling out on you. See what these brakes are like. Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much, Mr. Polo. But no, really, really good. Chassis takes high speed really, really well. Takes bumps and lumps, cambers, crests really quite well. And it's just really, really comfortable and really well spec'd up. So it's actually, yeah, it's actually not a bad little car at all. I think as eco cars go, this ticks numerous boxes. Like I said before, I do absolutely love the looks of it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's crying out for a 250, 300 horsepower version of this. And then I think it'd really then tick my kind of boxes. I'd have one as a daily. It's just too slow for someone who hankers you know, a good hot hatch for me. But it's a brilliant, comfortable car. Without a shadow of a doubt, definitely.
Right guys, that's it then. That's the end of our drive in the Toyota CHR. It's been really, really good. Very different car to what we're normally used to, but as an eco car that's kind of really, really comfortable, that you can do loads of miles in. It's a really, really good car. For the money, it's fully loaded. Again, like I say, links in the bio to everything, all the more tech spec, etc., and what you get on these model cars. 28,995, loads of spec. Brilliant car. Go test drive one if it's on your kind of agenda or on your list of things to kind of potentially buy. Go check it out. Toyota UK, thank you very much for the use of the car today. And as always, guys, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, take care, and watch another video of us soon, and we'll see you then. Take care.